Alrighty, hi folks, I am Becky with Enduring Finances. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're continuing on with my journey of looking at Lime, the scooter and bike company that has expanded from the United States to multiple countries around the world. And we're going to be talking about pricing on how much Lime is offering per task in the various cities in the United States. And I know for a lot of people it's really difficult to find accurate information about Lime and what they're offering and all of that. And so this is my attempt to make the information that I can find readily available to you in a concise format. With that, it is not going to be 100% accurate because Lime is constantly updating their price breakdown. They have algorithms for how many people they have working in the market and what they need, and it is hard to compete against that because they can literally just automatically update things every single day, every single hour if they want to. So this will not be 100% accurate and is likely going to be already different in various cities. I'm going to cover the 56 cities that Lime operates in. Some of these are ones that they have listed on their website. Some of them are ones that I've come across, so there could be others that they have not updated on their website. And some of them I think that are no longer actually operating that are listed on their website. And I think the last thing to put in here is this might not be what you get paid if you do these tasks, because there are going to be logistics partners that are going to be above you in certain cities, and they might be taking a percentage of that. And so take this with a grain of salt and not as 100% foolproof concrete data, just a good rough figure that you can kind of work with and see what you can mess around with. So let's go ahead and look at the breakdown for the various cities. Lime breaks down the United States into 3 different regions. You have the north, you have the south, and you have the west. And that's just how they do it. So we're going to kind of go by that, and I'm going to break it down by state rather than by city, just because it's easier for me to think of it that way. And I'm going to put little segments here so that you can just search your specific state, and I'll have the cities and states listed down below as well with the timestamps, so you can just go to the one spot that you want to if that's what you're looking for, or you can see everything that I can see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, most of this data is pulled from the 22nd of April. Some of this, because I couldn't find it, is pulled from the 27th of March, because I was originally going to do this video a few weeks ago. So this is rough estimates on some of them, not 100% concrete, but the best information that I can give you. I have it broken down in a spreadsheet just like this on my website. If you want to download it so you can filter through it in a more visual way, that is totally fine. I will link down to the post on my website in this as well. But this just breaks it down by the location here and how much money I can find that they are paying you for these locations. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the first state, which would be Alabama. So right now Alabama has Birmingham, which is not listed on Lime's website. From what I can tell, they are still doing charging of the scooters, so they're using the older models. $4.50 a charge, $3.50 a move, $4 to retrieve, $1 to deploy those scooters. And then I can tell that they have bikes and they're doing bike swaps. So I don't know how much they're charging for the bike swaps for the batteries themselves or to move the batteries, but they're charging $4 to pull in a bike and $1 to deploy a bike out into the world. And because they are doing those bikes and the battery swaps, we can tell that there is going to be a logistics partner program running in that city in the future, if not already. So this is Alabama. Next, we're going to go ahead and go to Arizona. Now, we have Phoenix and Scottsdale. Both of these are not listed on the Lime website, and they have a different in what they're showing. So for Phoenix, which is the main big city in Arizona, they're doing $3 for a battery swap on the scooters. They don't have any charges going on. $4 to move the scooter, $4 to retrieve the scooter, $3 to deploy the scooter out into the city. They do have bikes available, And it's $5 to move a bike and $6 to retrieve a bike, and I don't know about the deploying. So they do probably have a logistics partner running, or will in the future, for Phoenix. As far as Scottsdale, Arizona, which is very close to Phoenix, they do not have swappable batteries yet for the scooters, so they're charging $6. They're paying $6 for you to charge a scooter, which means you have to physically go get the scooter, physically charge it, and then return it to the city. I'm not sure about the moves. $4 to retrieve and then $3 to deploy, and I haven't found any information about the bikes yet, so more than likely they're building that program up and don't have a logistics partner that is running that city or that's under works with that. Next, we're going to move on to Arkansas. Now, Arkansas has Little Rock, which again is not listed on Lime's website, and they do have the Gen 4 scooters here for $3.50 for battery swaps, $4 for moves, and then $2.50 to retrieve and bring those scooters back to the main Lime warehouse. And that is all the information that I have on Little Rock, Arkansas. For California, this is a bigger one. This is the big push to logistics partner programs for Lime because of the state changes on that. I'll post a link to the video where you can kind of find out how I broke that down a little bit more. But we'll start with Los Angeles. They do have $2.75 for a battery swap, $5 to charge. They have both scooters, they have multiple generations of scooters running at the same time right now, from what I can tell. Could be wrong. $3.75 to move a scooter from one location to another, and $5 to retrieve a scooter. For Oakland, California, they have charging scooters for $5.75 a charge, $5 to move a scooter, and $4 to retrieve a scooter. In Sacramento, they're paying $3 for a battery swap, $5 to move a scooter, $5 to retrieve a scooter, $2.50 to deploy a scooter from the warehouse out into the city, and they do have bikes running in that area with a $6 move price and $6.50 to retrieve the bikes, and then $4.50 to deploy the bike out into the city, and that is for Sacramento. San Diego is listed on Lime's website, but I have been unable to find any data on the map about what they're doing. It looks like they potentially have transitioned from San Diego to Tijuana, Mexico, right below the border, because they do have it operating there. So I wonder if that was a change that happened and they haven't updated their system yet. As far as San Francisco, though, we're showing that they have not transitioned to the swappable scooters, but most of the icons are showing 1 cent to charge a scooter, which meh, and $5 to move the scooters and $3 to retrieve the scooters. So this could be an error on my part for not being able to see it correctly, or they're just getting rid of this function and they're potentially transitioning to the swappable batteries. I don't know. If you do, I would love to hear about it though. Next we have San Jose, California, where they are also doing the chargeable scooters for $4.75 on average, $3 to move the scooters, $3.25 to retrieve the scooters, and then $2 to deploy the scooters. And this is a for sure, they do not have any bikes operating in this area. They have a specific agreement with the city where they are just doing the scooters and have a little bit incentive for local populations to use the scooters. And then the last city in California is Santa Barbara for $4 a piece for a battery swap, $5 to charge a physical scooter, $1.50 to move the scooter, and then $3.25 to retrieve the scooter. And then they do have bikes running. Again, we're not sure what that bike battery swap is. Probably very similar to the scooter swap. And to move a bike, it is $4 a pop, and then to retrieve a bike, it is $3 a pop. So that is California. Next, we'll move to Colorado. Just going in alphabetical order here, it's the easiest. So we have Boulder, Colorado for $3.50 a piece for battery swaps, $4 a piece to move the scooters, and that's all the information I have. For Colorado Springs, it is $3.50 for a battery swap, $4 to move a scooter, and $4 to retrieve a scooter. And they do have bikes operating with $4.50 a piece to move and $4.50 a piece to retrieve those bikes. And then lastly, we have Denver, Colorado, coming again with that $3.50 pay rate for battery swaps, $4 to move the scooter, $4 to retrieve the scooter, and then $3 to deploy the scooters out into the city from the Lime warehouse. They also have bikes running, $4.50 to move the bike, $4.50 to retrieve the bike, I should say. And then $3.50 to deploy that bike into the city from the warehouse. So a little bit more information with Denver, as it is the larger city in Colorado. Moving on, we'll go down to Florida, going all the way across the country now. First off, we have Jacksonville, which is not listed on Lime's website, but does have scooters running in it with most likely a logistics partner. Any city location that has battery swaps going on, whether they're with bikes or with scooters, is more than likely in the transition to logistics partners or has already transitioned to logistics partners. The only cities that might still be operating without logistics partners themselves are scooters where they are areas where they're just charging the scooters, like some of them in California and some smaller locations that don't have the Gen 4 scooters yet because they're just in the waiting list to get them. So more than likely, these are all going to have logistics partners. So we have Jacksonville for $2.50 a battery swap, $3 to move a scooter, and $3 to retrieve a scooter. For Orlando, Florida, we have again $2.50 to swap batteries and $2.50 to move the scooters. And we can see that bikes are running in the area for $3 a move and then $5 to retrieve a bike and bring it back to the warehouse. And then lastly, we have Tampa, Florida. I cannot talk, I apologize. For $3 for a battery swap, $3 to move the scooter from one location to another, and then $3 to retrieve the scooter, bringing it back to the warehouse, $2.50 to take it from the warehouse and bring it back to the city. And again, we are seeing those bikes with swappable batteries for $3 to move the scooter, $3.50 to retrieve the scooter, and then $3.50 to deploy the bike. You know what I'm talking about. Green, blue, green. I can't even say it right. Blue, green. You know what I mean. So moving on, we'll go to Georgia. And we have 2 cities in Georgia that are operating right now that I know of. There could be more. We have Atlanta, where they are doing battery swaps at $3.25 a pop, $3 to move the scooter, $3.75 to retrieve the scooter, and then $1 to deploy. And it looks like they are operating bikes as well, with the price being $4 to move the scooter, $5.25 to retrieve the bike, and then $3.50 to deploy the bike. And then the second city is Statesboro, where it looks like they are charging scooters, not doing battery swaps yet. And to charge a scooter is paying $3.50 on average, $2.75 to move the scooters, $3.25 to retrieve the scooters, and then $1 to deploy the scooters into the city. Next, we'll jump on down to Idaho, where I am at. Did not do a joke there. We're Boise, so we are in the process of transitioning to logistics partners. So that's interesting. Boise right now is paying $2.50 to do battery swaps. There's no scooters that need to be charged anymore. They're paying $2.25 to move the scooters, $2 on average to retrieve the scooters, and then $2.25 to deploy the scooters out into the city. And we have not the Gen 4 bikes, but we're in the process of getting the Gen 4 bikes. We've had less, but also rechargeable. I don't know. We have bikes, and they are paying $3 to move the bikes from anywhere in the city, and then $5 to retrieve the heavy bikes and bring them back to the warehouse. So that wraps up Idaho. Let's go ahead and jump down to Illinois. So in Illinois, we have Chicago, a big, well-known city that is not listed on Lime's website. Right now, they are paying $3 on average to swap out batteries, $5.25 to move scooters, $4 to retrieve scooters, and $2.50 to deploy scooters. So that is Chicago, Illinois. Next up, we have Indiana. We have 3 cities in Indiana where Lime is operating. First is Bloomington, where they are paying $2.25 to swap out batteries, $4.25 to charge scooters, $2 to move scooters, and $4 to retrieve scooters. And I have enough information to know that they do have bikes in play and they are Gen 4 with battery swaps, but I don't know anything else about that. Then we have Evansville, which is another one where there's very little information. The only thing that I've been able to see is that they have tasks out to retrieve scooters for $1.75 and no other information, so they could be moving out of the city altogether. I don't know. If you know, I would love to hear. And then last we have Indianapolis, Indiana, for $3 a pop for battery swaps, $2 to move scooters, $4 to retrieve scooters, and then $2 to deploy those scooters. And that wraps up Indiana. Kentucky, moving on down the line, we have Louisville, Kentucky, where they are charging scooters only for $4.75 on average. To move the scooters is $4, to retrieve the scooters is $3, to deploy the scooters is $2.75, and they don't appear to have bikes yet, so they might not have transitioned to a logistics partner yet. But that wraps up Kentucky for right now. Let's go ahead and jump on down to Maryland. So the only city operating in Maryland for Lime is Baltimore, and they do have scooters moving. I'm assuming they're Gen 4 because they do have bikes, but I don't have data and information on the bike prices or the the prices for swapping batteries or charging scooters. The only thing I have is $4.25 to retrieve scooters and then $1.50 to deploy scooters, but they are operating in Baltimore, Maryland. Next we'll go on to Michigan up north where it's cold. And we'll start off with Detroit, $3 a pop for battery swaps, $2 to move scooters, $4 to retrieve scooters, and then $1.75 to deploy those scooters out to the city. Grand Rapids, Michigan, we're coming in at a weird $2.70 for battery swaps. That's the newest update there. It's an odd number there. To move the scooters, they're paying $2.25. To retrieve, it's $2 a pop, and then to deploy those scooters is $1.75. And they do have bikes operating in the city with the swappable batteries. We're seeing a $2.75 to move those bikes, $5 to retrieve the bikes, and then $2.50 to deploy the bikes. And then the last city in Michigan is Lansing, where we're saying they have the charging scooters only for $4.25. I'm not seeing any move tasks there. And then to retrieve the tasks, they're $3.25, and to deploy those scooters is $1.50 a pop. And that wraps up Michigan. So let's go ahead and head to Missouri, where we're going to St. Louis, where they do not have swappable batteries yet, but they are we're paying $4.50 on average to charge a scooter, $3.25 to move a scooter, and then $2.25 to retrieve a scooter from inside the city. Moving right along, we'll head up to Nebraska. I was not aware that they had scooters in Nebraska. I guess I had a bias of how small Nebraska is, just little cornfields. But they have two cities operating. One is Lincoln, that is not listed on Lime's website, where they are paying $2.50 for a battery swap, $4 to move the scooter, and $4 to retrieve the scooter. And then in Omaha, Nebraska, where they're also paying $2.50 per battery swap, $4.25 to move the scooter, $3.25 to retrieve the scooter, and then $1.25 to deploy the scooters into the city. And that wraps up Nebraska. Heading off to New York, where we're going to probably see some large payments here. So we have New York, big city, where they're paying $5 a piece for a battery swap. They're paying $6 to move the scooters, $7 to retrieve the scooters, and $3 to deploy the scooters. And they have an agreement where they are not operating bikes in the city of New York itself. There is Rochester, New York, which is listed on the Lime website, that I have not been able to find any information about them actually having scooters running there anymore. So I don't know what's going on there. Would love to hear about it if you know anything about Rochester, New York, and what is Lime doing in that city. Moving on, we'll go down to North Carolina, a beautiful state if you've ever been. We'll go to Charlotte first, where it's paying $3.75 for a battery swap, $4.50 to move the batteries, $5 to retrieve scooters, and then $3 to deploy those scooters. And then they have Raleigh and Durham, South North Carolina, that are right on top of each other. They list this way on the website itself, where they're paying $2.50 for battery swaps, $3.25 to move the scooters, $2.50 to retrieve the scooters, and $1.50 to deploy scooters in the city. Moving on, we will head to Ohio, where we have 3 cities operating. First off is Cincinnati, Ohio, where they are paying $4.50 to charge on a scooter on average, $2 to move the scooter, and then $2.25 to retrieve the scooter. And then we have Cleveland, Ohio, where they're paying $4.75 to charge scooters. Don't know how much they're paying to move. They are paying $3.50 to retrieve scooters, and then $1.25 to deploy the scooters into the city. And then they are operating bikes, and they are paying $2.50 to move a bike, $6.25 to retrieve a bike, and then $2.25 to deploy the bike into the city. And then the last city in Ohio is Columbus, where they are paying $3 on average to swap batteries out, $2 to move the scooters, $4 to retrieve the scooters, and then $2 to deploy the scooters back into the city. So that wraps up Ohio there. Next we'll move into Oklahoma. First off, we have Bartlesville, where they are paying $3.50 for a battery swap, and then $3 to move the scooter, as well as $3.50 to move the bikes that they do have operating in the city. For Oklahoma City, we're seeing battery swaps at $3.50 a piece. To move the scooters, we're seeing $4, to retrieve $4, and to deploy $4 as well. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, they are paying $3.50 on average to do battery swaps, $4 to move the scooters, and then $5 to retrieve the scooters. So that wraps up Oklahoma. We'll go ahead and head off to Oregon on the west coast. To the only city they have is Portland, where they're paying $4 a pop to change out batteries on scooters, $3 to move scooters, $3.50 to retrieve scooters, and then $1.50 to deploy scooters. And they have a specific agreement with the city where they're not going to operate bikes right now, but they're going forward with it. Next, we're going to go back to South Carolina, where we have one city, Charleston, where they do not have any scooters operating. The only thing they have right now is bikes, and that is with a specific agreement with the city. I don't know how much the battery swaps are going for. My guess is between $2.50 and $3 a pop, based off of statistically. They are paying $5.25 to move the bikes and $3.10 to retrieve the bikes. So we've got some weird numbers there, but they're probably right, sitting about average. Moving on, we'll head to Tennessee, and they have one city, Nashville, operating scooters, paying $3.25 for battery swaps, $5 to move scooters, $4.50 to retrieve scooters, and then $3 to deploy. They do have bikes running as well. They are paying $4.50 to move a bike, $3.50 to retrieve a bike, and then $4 to deploy a bike into the city. And then moving right along, we'll jump down to Texas, where we have quite a few cities that are operating. First off, we have Austin, Texas, paying $2.50 for a battery swap, $2 to move a scooter, $5 to retrieve a scooter, and they are running bikes as well, paying $3 to move the bike, and then $4 to retrieve a bike in Austin. In Corpus Christi, Texas, they do not have swappable batteries. They are paying $4 on average to charge a scooter, $2.25 to retrieve a scooter, and then $1 to deploy a scooter. And then Edinburg, Texas, they also are charging scooters there for $3.50 on average. They don't have any other information about tax. For Houston, it is not listed on Lime's website, but they are paying $2.50 on average for battery swaps, and then $4 to move scooters and $5 to retrieve scooters. In Lubbock, Texas, they are paying $3 to charge scooters on average, $1 to move scooters, $2 to retrieve scooters, and then $1.50 to deploy. And they are operating bikes in Lubbock for $4.25 to move, $2 to retrieve, and then $1 to deploy. And next off, we will head to Utah, where they are expanding like crazy. We see Ogden is the first one, where they're paying $3 for a battery swap, $2 to move a scooter, and $4 to retrieve a scooter. In Provo, Utah, the only thing I can see is that they are paying $4 to retrieve scooters. No other data there, so I think they might be moving potentially to another city very close to Provo, because there's a couple where it's hard to see if it's like one set city or not. But there's definitely some stuff going on movement-wise between these three cities here. Salt Lake City is the third city in Utah that is listed on Lime's website. They are paying $2.25 per battery swap, $1.50 to move the scooter, $4 to retrieve the scooter, and then $2 to deploy. And they do have bikes running. And the only information I can see there is $5 a pop to retrieve bikes in the city. Moving on, we will go down to Virginia, and we have a couple cities there. So we have Hampton, Virginia, where the only thing I can see is they have scooters up to be retrieved for $2.25 a pop, but not a lot of movement there. Next we have Norfolk, Virginia. Pardon my French. I've said a lot of words. Norfolk, Virginia for $3 a pop at swaps, $5 to move, $4 to retrieve, $1.75 to and then they do have bikes operating in the city, paying $5.50 a pop to move the bikes, and then $3 to deploy the bikes. And then Richmond, Virginia. I don't know why these are the only ones that have Virginia on the, I don't know. Don't judge me. But Richmond, Virginia, they are paying $5 on average to charge a scooter and $3 to retrieve a scooter from in the city. Roanoke, Virginia, they're paying $3 to retrieve scooters, and that's all the information that I can find. And then Washington, D.C., which is technically not Virginia, but like kind of listed in Virginia. We're just going to go with it here. They're paying on average $4 for a battery swap, $5 to move scooters, $6 to retrieve scooters, $3.50 to deploy the scooters into the city, and they have bikes operating at one of the higher costs there for $7 a pop to move a bike, $7 to retrieve a bike, and $6 to deploy a bike. And that wraps up Virginia and Washington, D.C. And we are headed off to the last state, which is Washington in the Pacific Northwest. We have 4 cities that it is so operating in. First one is Airway Heights for $2 a pop at battery swaps, $2 to move the scooters. Then we have Newport, Washington, where the only data that I can find is $3 to retrieve those scooters, so not a lot of information there. Then we have the big city, Seattle, where they are paying $4.50 for battery swaps, $4.50 to move the scooter, $6 to retrieve a scooter, and $2 to deploy a scooter, with bikes operating as well, paying $5 to move, $6 to retrieve, and $2.75 to deploy those bikes. And then the last city that we're going to talk about is Spokane, Washington, where they're paying an average of $2 per battery swap, $2 to move the scooter, $3 to retrieve the scooter, and $2.50 to deploy, with bikes operating as well, paying $3 to retrieve a bike and $3.50 to deploy a bike. So that wraps up all of the data that I have collected on all of these cities and states in the United States. Again, we're seeing pretty consistent numbers across the board, with a few outliers being Washington, D.C. and Seattle as some of the larger cities that are operating. But overall, lots of information there. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, I would love to hear them. If you know a city that is not on this list that is operating Lime or potentially transitioning to operating Lime, I would love to hear it, because there's not a lot of information out there, and I'd love to be able to share that with you. And I think that'll wrap it up for today, and I will catch you next time, guys.